Welcome to PS Academy. I'm your host Istvan, digital marketer and marketing automation specialist, and today I'll be showing you how to create your very first Facebook ad. We'll be using Facebook boosted posts, the most basic advertising feature Facebook gives its users. Everyone can use this feature and it's really intuitive and simple, but I'll be showing you all the steps needed to create your very first ad. I'll be also giving you tips, tricks, and everything that you need to avoid. Because let me tell you, using Facebook boosted posts is the biggest mistake a lot of advertisers commit. And today I'll tell you why, and I'll give you a sneak peek into the solution. If you're new to digital marketing or you want to learn more and brush up your skills on Facebook marketing, subscribe to our channel. We'll be posting regular content featuring all sorts of tips and tricks and everything you need to become a professional digital marketer. All right, well, let's get into it then. Of course, the very first thing we're going to be doing is posting something on our newsfeed. As the name suggests, it's a Facebook boosted post. So we need an actual post to exist in order for us to boost it. So let's see over here. We have our demo page, the one we made last time. Of course, there's a whole bunch of things we still need to set on this page, but today I just want to create this ad with you. So I'll just click on Create Post. I'll select the image that I prepared for this. I already have this demo ad, and I'll upload this. And quick tip, this is a square image. It's in a 1:1 aspect ratio, meaning that it is a square. It has 1080 in its width and 1080 in its height. I'd say this is the best aspect ratio to use on your Facebook newsfeed because it covers the largest real estate on it. If you're using a landscape image, you're going to be covering a smaller portion of devices, be it desktop or mobile. It looks pretty much the same on the newsfeed right now. So I encourage you to use 1:1 aspect ratio, which can be 500 by 500 pixels, 1080 by 1080, 2000 by 2000. It doesn't matter, it just needs to be square. Now, I already have a little text copied in here, so I'll just paste that. And it says, this is our very first post. We're very excited for it, and we hope you like it as well. Show us some love in the comments. Neat. And I'll also add a little heart emoji, because of course, emojis help with these kind of posts. All right, so of course, we have our post ready. We can directly go to this boost post section over here, but I won't click on that. I want to show you how to get here after you posted one of these images, because possibly you already have an image that you have posted and you want to boost that one. So I'll just post this. And as you can see, it's right over here on our page. And Facebook, of course, immediately jumps on us with one of these reach more people with this post banners. This telling us if we boost this post only for 25 lei, we'll be reaching a bunch of people. Everyone will be seeing our ads. But the truth is, this is one of the greatest pitfalls in Facebook advertising. And this is one of the mistakes a lot of juniors commit. Let me tell you, Facebook will do anything to get your advertising budget. They'll tell you that your posts are running really well and that you're getting more engagement than usual. They're going to tell you that a specific age group is really interested in your posts, so add some more budget to reach them. And they're going to be coming with all sorts of these mock statistics that aren't necessarily true, unfortunately, just to convince you to increase your Facebook ad budget. The truth is, if you want to actually get real results from your Facebook ads, you need to be tracking the results yourself. So if your aim is to get more likes, get more comments, get more, I don't know, followers, or you actually want people to be messaging you on Facebook, or you want them to purchase your products on your website, you need to track these results yourself. See how much money you invested, see what kind of result you have. If you're making sales, if you're getting in touch with clients, if your, I don't know, your brand awareness is growing, then okay, put more budget in. But if you can't actually feel a real result of these ads, consider it again. Take a look at the numbers. See if that Facebook pop-up notification is fooling you basically into increasing your budget. Obviously, it's not necessarily ill-intended what Facebook is doing. If you put budget into your ads, they're gonna work better. That's general truth, so to say. But at the same time, you gotta be really careful because you might be spending all your marketing budget on an ad that's not helping your business. So just check those numbers, all right? Take a look at all these metrics that Facebook provides you. So let's actually get into boosting this post. Now there's a lot of aspects to boosting a Facebook post. This is the menu over here. I'll try to go over a couple of them, although there's a lot to cover, and I'll be making separate videos on some of these functions just to give you a better idea of what everything does. The very first thing over here is setting your goal. Now usually Facebook sets it to automatic, which means that it'll just analyze your banner, it'll analyze the text you have written, and set a goal that it thinks is the best fit for your ad. It's not necessarily wrong, it's pretty accurate. If you put a phone number, you'll get more phone calls. If you say like and share this post, you'll get more likes and shares, and all that. And even without necessarily writing a very clear instruction, it can sometimes guess what you want to achieve. But I'll just show you, if we click on change over here, we've got these goals, and these are pretty self-explanatory. Get more website visitors. Click this to get more website visitors, obviously get more messages, get more engagement, get more leads, and get more calls. So depending on kind of what you want to do, you can select one of these. You can either drive traffic to your website, but you'll need a website with a URL. You can get more messages on Facebook. You can get more engagement, which means reactions, comments, shares. You can get leads, which means that Facebook will give these people a form to fill out. And once they fill that form out, they'll arrive in your leads center. We will discuss more about leads on Facebook directly in another video, because it's a whole topic in and of itself. And of course, get more calls. If you want to get more calls to, I don't know, schedule appointments or just talk about your services and products, then this is the goal you'll be using. But for this example, we'll be getting more engagement. We just posted our first post. We want people to see it. We want them to comment, to share, and all that stuff. So I'll just select this goal over here. And it gives us the option to add a button. And if I choose send messages, it'll suggest that I go back to the send messages objective, but that's not our goal right now. So I'll just select something else. There's quite a variety over here. These are pretty much standard buttons. They're all pretty much linked to your objective as well. So call now will obviously be about the call objective. Learn more will be website traffic, and so on and so forth. But since I want people to stay on Facebook and I want them to comment and like, I'll just skip the button altogether. And you'll see on my preview over here, the button has disappeared. Special ad category, it's not the case right now. We're not going into politics or something that is sensitive, so I don't need to worry about this at all. Audience, this is pretty important. Now, I have a bunch of saved audiences over here. And as an example, we'll be using digital marketers in CBO. Yeah, this one's pretty good. It's basically just a basic age range that I set up. It's targeting people in CBU, which is the home city of Pixel Solutions. This is where we operate from. So obviously we're interested in meeting people over here that are interested in our topics. And it has a couple of interests set over here and behaviors. Now, if you do click on this edit button, then it'll take you deeper into these parameters. There's a lot of things to discuss. You can set genders, you can set an age range. It's pretty simple, just drag and drop over here. You can provide location data, of course. You can, I don't know, countries, counties, specific cities, or maybe even specific addresses. You can even use this drop pin function. Like if I want to also target people in the neighboring town, I can just drop a pin over here and set the radius a little bit smaller and select this neighboring town, Salishte. But I don't want to do that right now, so I'll just remove this from over here. And the last section, of course, is detailed targeting, where you can set interests, behaviors, demographics. It is a really interesting part of advertising, and it's really where you can get really good at targeting. So you can go super specific, super niche, just by selecting a couple of these parameters. Now, I won't necessarily get into this too much. I did set a couple of parameters over here. So I'm looking for people that are interested in digital marketing, marketing entrepreneurship, business, viral marketing, advertising, people that are admins on Facebook pages, and marketing agents. Now, it is pretty broad, so to say. I mean, there's a lot of interests over here, but there are also broad interests, like a lot of people are interested in digital marketing, which is why we're obviously giving out these free courses, so a lot of people can get into the profession and go from amateur to professional. Now, this pin tells me that I'm in the green over here. I can't tell you that this pin that tells you that you're going too specific or too broad isn't very accurate. It's going to tell you most of the times that you're in the green, but if it does show you that you're too specific or too broad, try to work on your targeting. You're probably doing something wrong. Now it tells me the potential reach is 63,000 people. I'm fine with that. If all of those 63,000 people see my ad and come to my page, I'll be really happy. So I'll just save this audience over here and make sure that it is selected. Okay. Going further, we need to set duration and budget. Now, it will tell you that ads under 4 days won't perform very well. This is mostly true. It's better to leave an ad on for a longer period of time so it has time to optimize, it has time to get used to your audience, to your budget spend, and so on and so forth. But if you do want to make a shorter ad in 4 days, it's possible. It won't tell you that it's not possible. So I'll just select how many days I want. The start date for this ad will obviously be today. That's how boosted posts work. You can't necessarily tell them to start in the future. So you'll always be making your boosted post on the same day you want it to launch. You can set an end date from here. You can just tell it how many days you want it to last. And you can set a budget over here with this little scroller. However, you can also manually type in a budget. So let's say I want to spend 74 lei. Lei, of course, being the local currency in Romania. If your ad account is from, I don't know, Germany, you'll have euros. If you're from the US, you'll have dollars over here. So you don't need to worry about that. It'll be always in your local currency. Great. So these are some additional settings over here. It's asking me if I want to use a pixel. I don't want to use a pixel. Pixels are advanced tracking tools, and we'll be discussing about pixels a lot in the future, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Placements, this is interesting. You can place your Facebook ads on Instagram as well, which is pretty cool. You don't necessarily even have to have an Instagram account. If you don't have one, it'll create a mock account for you and just post it on that, and all the engagements come to Facebook. But at the moment, I don't want that. We have our Facebook page over here. We created a post on it, and I want people to come to Facebook and see what we're doing here. So I'll just untick this, and it automatically unticked Messenger because this goal does not align with the Messenger placement. Obviously, Messenger is more for get messages and these kind of goals, not necessarily for Facebook engagement, which happens on the newsfeed itself. Payment method is obviously pretty straightforward. You just have to add a payment method, and Facebook will be using it to pay for your ads. So I already have one set up over here. I won't get into this. Now here we can see a preview of our ad. It looks great if you ask me. If you click on see all previews, you'll see previews of desktop devices, mobile devices, and so on and so forth. So you can just make sure that your ad looks good on all platforms. And of course, estimated daily results. These are based on your goal. So if you're interested in engagement, it'll give you post engagement as a result. If you have something else set up, it'll give you, I don't know, messages, calls, purchases, and so on and so forth. It's pretty nice in that sense. So we can see kind of with our budget, with this audience, and with all the settings we have set up, this will be the end result, approximate end result, of course, of our ads. Although these can vary pretty heavily. As you can see, it's saying it's been 1.4K and 4.1K, which is of course 1,000 daily reach results, and that's like a huge variance. Facebook isn't very specific on this. You'll obviously gain some experience once you've run a couple of ads and see what your estimates can be. It really depends, of course, on your niche. It depends on what you're advertising and so on and so forth. But it does give you an approximate estimate. And usually from experience, your results will land somewhere between these, somewhere in the middle. So don't expect the highest result, but don't expect the lowest either. You can go better with that. Okay, so we're pretty much done setting this up, and I'll just click Boost Post now. This will submit our ads. Awesome, our ad is being created. As you can see, the status is in review. Ads take some time to actually be reviewed by an automatic algorithm. And if you are doing dubious stuff with your ads, like, I don't know, advertising alcohol to minors or advertising illegal substances, then you won't pass the review. There is a bunch of rules regarding what kind of ads they let pass, but if your ad is pretty standard, it's advertising a product or service that's not illegal or fringe, you probably will pass this review time. It's usually 24 hours, so do plan ahead, expect a 24-hour review, but sometimes you can get reviewed in an hour, it can get reviewed in 2, so it's not always 24 hours. However, if you have passed the 24-hour review time and your ad is still not active, you can contact Facebook support to see why it's taking so long. Okay, so we have a little bit of a recap what's going on, and we can go to Ad Center. Excellent. And with that, we created our very first Facebook boosted post. Now, as I said, there are a lot of pitfalls with Facebook boosted posts. The system isn't as good as it can be. You can do a lot with targeting. You can set a lot of parameters. They introduce these goals to you, like engagement and get calls and all that stuff. And it's a pretty solid system, so to say. It hasn't been in the past, to be honest. You had very few options. You couldn't set goals. But at the moment, it is a solid system. However, it's not as good as the next best thing, which is Facebook Ads Manager. Facebook Ads Manager is the professional platform that all Facebook advertisers use. It's not as visual, it's not as simple, it doesn't hold your hand a lot, but at the same time, you have many more options, you can be really precise. And most importantly, you won't get all these annoying pop-ups saying that spend more money, put more budget in this ad or that ad, or this is performing well, increase your budget, and so on and so forth. So that's really the platform for professionals. And next time, I'll be giving you a brief introduction into Facebook Ads Manager, just so you can kind of see what it looks like, what sort of things you can do on Facebook Ads Manager, and why it's so much better than Facebook boosted posts. Now, obviously, another really important thing that maybe you're not necessarily considering right now is that Facebook boosted posts only work on posts that are already on your timeline. A lot of times, companies don't want their ads to be on their timelines. And as we go along this Facebook course, you'll see why some of these ads aren't appearing on their timelines. Now, don't be discouraged. I know I said a couple of times that this is one of the gravest mistakes that advertisers commit on the Facebook advertising platform. However, if you're careful, if you don't randomly take Facebook's advice to increase your budget, and if you look for real results from your ad campaigns, you can get nice results even with Facebook boosted posts. So if you don't want to get into intricacies and complexities, you just want these basic goals that Facebook gives you to work, you can make Facebook boosted posts. So take this knowledge and go ahead. But keep an eye out on our future videos because we'll be talking about targeting intricacies and basically a lot of things that you can optimize on your settings in order to get the most out of your marketing budget. If you've liked today's video, give us a like, subscribe, and of course, leave us a comment down below. I'm sure a lot of you marketers already had experiences with Facebook boosted posts, and maybe a couple of you already made the gravest mistake and invested in an ad that wasn't actually giving you good results. So tell me a bit about those experiences, share with your colleagues. A lot of people will be learning from the mistakes we made as beginner marketers. So feel free to write something down below. I'll see you next time with even more tips and tricks on how to make your ads awesome, an introduction to Ads Manager, and much, much more. So stay tuned. If this is the very first video you've seen, check out some of these other videos. I'm sure you'll like them.